And initiate sequence.
So I went to see Vin Diesel's latest movie. It is called Bloodshot, and this might be the last theatrical movie review I've got for you for a little bit. Some of you may be wanting to brave the stuff that's going around and head to the movie theaters this weekend, and you're curious to know what I think about Bloodshot, and I can tell you that it's not bad. It's okay.
What is this place?
This is an action picture for sure. You put Vin Diesel in there and, chances are pretty good that it's going to be some kind of an action picture. It's definitely a little bit different than, the Fast and Furious franchise. This is a soldier-turned-superhero tale, and it's based on a comic book from Valiant Comics. I've never read the comics. I don't know anything about the lore. There are certainly some pretty cool sci-fi story bits and some nice echoes of things that we've seen in the past for sure. So I won't spoil too much here, but the plot goes something like this. Vin Diesel wakes up after something has gone horribly wrong. He was a soldier and stuff went down and he's killed basically, and he comes back to life and he's got all of this incredible technology within him that gives him super strength and the ability to heal. So he's a little bit like Wolverine, and he's got kind of like this cool regenerative ability because of all these little nanobite elements that are within him and within his bloodstream. So there's a little bit of a Matrixy vibe there as well, where he can kind of tap into computers and suck down all kinds of information, but he can also kind of respawn a bit, a little bit video game-like.
It will not only make you stronger, it will heal you instantly.
Holy shit.
Now tell me, do you remember anything?
Guy Pearce is in this movie. He does a great job as this mastermind who concocts all of this incredible technology and gives Vin Diesel this gift that he didn't ask for. Eliza Gonzalez is another one of these augmented people that's running around. She's got some okay work. She's certainly a good-looking person, and she wears the tightest pants in the movie, which is a little weird, also Michael Bay-like. There is definitely a Michael Bay kind of waft on this film for sure. And the other big star that's in this movie is Sam Heughan, who I know because my wife and I watch Outlander. My wife loves Sam Heughan, as many wives out there I think probably do. And he also plays an augmented character, but he's kind of disappears into the role, which may be intentional. He certainly doesn't come off like Jamie from Outlander. He's not big and heroic and the king of men like he is in Outlander. He's kind of a scumbag in this movie, but I thought it was a little bit of a wasted opportunity because this is a guy whose star is rising. There's rumors that he might be in the running for James Bond. And he just is he's just there, And I don't know if it's a question of the direction or the script or his acting choices, but he doesn't really sort of leap off of the screen. My favorite actor in the movie is Lamorne Morris as Wilford Wiggins. He totally walks away with every one of his scenes. He's got to play a lot of scenes alone in front of technology, but he's very funny, and he definitely amps up the energy the minute that he hits the screen. If this movie is successful, and I don't know how it's going to fare, especially in this climate, maybe they can extrapolate and give this character a lot more to do. Director for this movie, there's a first-time director named Dave Wilson, and he comes from Blur Studio, and he's worked with video game companies, has worked on tons of cinema cut sequences for lots of the biggest games ever made, and there is a distinct video game vibe and feel to this movie, which I didn't mind. I thought, there was an aesthetic that was familiar to me, but also pleasing to me. The one thing that I would say is that there are way too many tight shots on the technology and on people's faces, and Wilson seems to have obsessed on trying to create this real kind of visual style, which, is a refrain of stuff that we've seen going back to the Michael Bay days. The camera's always tracking, it's always moving, and there's lots of cuts, lots of quick cuts, but he's got the camera so close in on action sequences and on facial expressions and on moments, and not every beat works, and it's kind of frustrating. It does feel like we are playing an unskippable cutscene for the next level of the Bloodshot video game that we don't get to play. The actors look very digitized. You can tell you're watching them on screen and they're punching each other and flying around. And it's like, those are not humans. Those are digital creations. And it's very obvious, especially, it's very good work for sure, but it is like super high-res game cut sequence stuff or stuff you might see in a CW Arrowverse show like The Flash, and you can watch it on TV. It's like, okay, well, those are digital actors, and I get it, and they can't do all these cool sci-fi special effects. But when it's blown up on a massive movie screen, it's very easy to pick it apart.
You can't get in, Kenny.
No chance. Oh, man.
Still, Fun concept, the idea of a networked super soldier that has all of these abilities and is out for revenge. There's a lot of good reasons why people would say, yes, let's greenlight this picture, and it's going to hit a lot of buttons.
I'm looking forward to it.
And that Vin Diesel equation, at this point, you can never count this guy out because he can be box office gold, although he has had trouble really making a lot of noise outside of Fast and the Furious. I don't know if this movie is going to do that, but Bloodshot is okay. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10.